Gord and Bennett. Gord, is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Gord is a single-player adventure strategy. To survive, you must sacrifice children. No, you must build, but to prevail, you must conquer the darkness beyond the gates. In this dark fantasy world, you must complete quests while managing a populace whose personal stories and well-being decide the fate of your tribe. And they don't care whether you sacrifice the children as well. Yes, guys, this is a bit of an RTS colony sim survival game. It doesn't play like any of them things, to be fair, because it's a bit of all of the things. It's not a Frostpunk. It's not a diplomacy is not an option kind of game. I don't know what it is, and I don't think it actually knows what it is either. You get to build this little settlement by placing down this palisade somewhere on the map that kind of encircles a few resources, trees and stuff. And if I'm going a lot when I'm speaking, it's ever since I had this tooth yanked out yesterday, so I do apologise. It will get better. So you build up a fortification wall, then you start building buildings, and you can only place them inside the wall, and there's hardly any room to build. Well, there's not enough room to build them all. But luckily, resources will run out, and so some buildings will become useless, and you can just dismantle them and put different buildings in. You have a small sprinkling of people that will work the different buildings. Now, these people all have names. You can change the names, and they have professions. Some are better at tasks than others, and they also have traits. Some are good traits, some are bad traits. Some of the traits are like, I'm an absolute coward and I won't fight, so obviously don't make them a guard. Some are, I'm scared of the dark, so don't send them out your camp. If you can help it, put them on a job that can stay in the camp. But most of them are dull, kind of samey, boring stuff that you don't really need to pay any attention to at all. Now, the gatherer goes out to pick mushrooms and stuff. The hunter goes out to hunt deer and whatever else they can get. The reed person goes out and brings back reeds. The wood chopper goes out and chops wood. You get the idea. The clay maker goes out and collects clay. And what these people do, they shut their eyes, block their ears, and just walk and go la 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 la, and walk straight into wolves' dens, monsters. They don't give a f***. They'll just walk out into absolute certain death. Now, it's hard to keep track of them because the map is so awful. The mini-map is just really bad. It's hard to see where people are, who's been attacked. The guy called Tree. Why is he called Tree? Well, I renamed him Tree because he was chopping down me trees. Unfortunately, I've had to switch him now to a forager, but I can't change his name, so he's still called fucking Tree. So, yeah, there's that problem. Because you don't know who's who, you see. You forget the names. So I named all mine to the tasks that we're doing, but you have to change it. It doesn't matter whether you have the same guy doing the same task. They do level up with XP and get a bit more proficient at it, but everybody just does anything in this game. So you lose track of who they are. Naming them's pointless because you can only name them once. So, you know, all mine are named totally wrong for the tasks that they're doing. And it gets to the point where the guy will say, one of your people is being eaten by a wolf's face. And you just think, I don't give a f***, mate. Because I'm sick of micromanaging these absolute simpletons who can't decide when it's not a good fight. Oh, 10 wolves versus you and you're armed with a piece of string. Yeah, I don't think that's a good fight. Why aren't you f***ing running away? Oh, is that because you're a prick? I think it is. So you have to micro everything. Bring them back if you can and put them into a hot bath which heals them. Now you can have... you need to have a bit of an army, a few people dedicated to the protection of others. You build fire around the bases, little lanterns, because the dark makes people lose their sanity. And if they lose their sanity, well, that's pretty much it. The problem is, you're doing this all the time. This is the game. This is the game loop. It's micromanaging idiots, and you don't like them. You want them to die anyway. And it's just absolutely boring. I mean, it's boring. I can't tell you how boring it is. And the people, they don't care. There was like 7 of us living through the first few missions, and one of them had a person called Coward. I named Coward because they wouldn't fight, had a little baby girl. And the little baby girl grew up. She was like a little teenager running around, couldn't really do much. She was helping out as best she could. And we had to move out of the camp and head north to a new place. That was the mission. And we came across this big, fat, slobbery demon thing. And we couldn't fight it because we didn't have the means to fight it. So the only way was to communicate with it and say, look, can we get past? And it said, yeah, of course you can get past, but I want to crush the bones of that child and eat her alive. You don't mind, dear? Oh, hell no, not at all. There you go. Hey, Doris, come along, go over there and get eaten by that horrible demon. And so little Doris walks out. The tentacles come, crush her, she's screaming, and throws her in its mouth and eats her alive. Nothing said. The mother's like, yeah, whatever. Hey ho. Okay, what? Oh, yeah, no one cares. No one. I mean, they don't care about you. You don't care about them, and they don't care about each other. It's just absolute nonsense. And the story's a bit bleh. It just, you know what? This game should have scrapped half of the content that's in it, and it should have just stuck to being a city builder. Like Frostpunk. It should have just been a Frostpunk kind of game. It would have been way better because the scene's good. It's all the premise of the game is pretty good, where it's set and everything. And the story could be decent, I guess, as you're kind of moving to get into the safe lands, trying to meet up with this army that's coming to liberate you, surviving lots of winters and different times of year, different monsters, different types of attacks. But as a city builder, not as a micromanaging of moronic twats, which is what this game actually is. And it's boring. I hate them all. I want to sacrifice them all. I want to throw them out there to the wolves, to the monsters, because these people are fucking idiots. And it's just blah, boring. Such a shame. And if all that wasn't enough, it's got an absolutely awful UI. It's just unnecessary pages of UI in the wrong place, blocking out huge screens pop up to give you hardly any information, really. And a lot of the information's not even necessary. It's a mess.